It's everybody's favorite time of year. It's time for another top 10 worst rares video from Good Luck High Five.
Alright everybody, hopefully you are playing a pre-release in some sort of socially distant fashion this coming weekend. And we are here to tell you the 10 worst rares that you do not want to open in your pre-release pools.
Absolutely not. Whether you're playing on Arena on Thursday, you've got a pre-release pack that you're picking up from your local game store on Friday, you're playing some spell table with your friends, no matter what, these are the rares and mythic rares that you absolutely do not want to see.
And we're gonna say it at the top, just like we always do.
Always.
This is specifically for sealed.
Yes.
It is not about drafting. It is not about constructed.
No.
This is just about busting open those 6 crisp packs and saying, oh no.
Right. You might want these because they're worth a lot of money, or maybe you'll play them in Commander.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that because we want to help you win your games of sealed. That's what we're here for, your pre-release sealed games. These are the cards that you probably should not play if you open them in your pool.
And you know what? We wanted to make another note at the top of this one. There are some 7, 8 mana sorceries in this set
there sure
that
are.
might have usually made this list because you're like, whoa, 7 or 8 mana. Except thanks to modal double-faced cards, there are lands on the other side.
Yeah.
So like, do you know what?
Totally fine.
Those cards are great.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
they're a land if you're not going to get to those 7 lands. But if you get to 7, then you've got a 6 spell.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, I was looking at some of them like, oof, this card's no good. But the land on the back, it just means
you can play it.
You can play it. It counts. Basically, I count it as a land in my sealed deck because I'm more often than not going to cast it on its land side rather than wait around for when I have 8 mana to draw 1 card.
All right, Maria.
Yes.
Enough caveats. Let's get to the list.
Okay, first thing up is Forsaken Monument.
Ooh.
Yikes.
The art on this, very cool.
It is awesome.
But for 5 mana, it is a do nothing.
You are doing absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2.
Okay.
How many colorless creatures did you have?
Ooh.
Also, they're never very good, so.
I had this pack beast.
Exactly. Okay, now your 2/2 for 2 is a 4/4, I guess. I don't know. Whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, add an additional colorless.
Okay.
Maybe there's a land in this set that taps for colorless, but like, what? Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life.
Okay.
Sure, it quote-unquote does some stuff, but
it doesn't do enough to warrant a spot in your deck.
And at 5 mana, you're gonna be bummed if you open this.
Get this thing out of here. Play it in Modern if you're playing like a Tron situation or whatever. I don't know what you're doing.
Do you know what? Maybe it's gonna be in like that historic artifacts deck. That would be cool.
Yeah, I would like it in that one.
But do you know what? As is.
Guess what I opened at the pre-release?
This card.
This card.
Next up, we have a card that's really cool, but not as a pre-release rare.
No.
Tazri, Beacon of Unity. This is basically 4 and a white for a 4/6.
This is a commander card.
It's not what you want.
No, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party.
Okay, so it's a 4 mana 4/6. Congratulations.
You really did it. You broke the game.
Wow.
You can pay. Okay, how do I even read these mana costs?
Two or a blue, 2 colorless or blue, 2 colorless or black, 2 colorless or red, or 2 colorless or green.
Look at
some comment. 8 colorless or blue, black, red, green. And anyways,
you get to look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and/or ally cards from among them, and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order.
Like you said, someone's gonna make a sick commander or brawl deck out of this.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Big time.
As you're rare, you're just gonna be like, this is a creature without really much upside.
Yeah, if you're playing 3 colors or something, you're already stretching yourself in your pre-release probably.
And you can activate it technically for 8 colorless or 6 colorless and a color.
Yeah.
But like, ooh.
Oh boy, this, it's just not gonna do enough for you, and it just comes with such a high ceiling to actually be able to play it and activate it that it just, it's magical Christmas land.
Yeah.
And we don't live there.
Coming up next is Arkon of Ameria. This is 2 and a white for a 2/3 flying. Totally solid.
It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. whatever.
So like this
I feel
card,
this medium
like
about
you can
this card.
you can play this in your deck if you're playing white.
Absolutely. Like if you're in white, you're gonna play this.
You're gonna play this. But
everyone loves a 2/3 flyer. Not as a rare.
Yeah, but it's a kind of a bummer of a rare, and it's really not going to have any effect on the battlefield as far as those non-basic lands coming into play, unless your opponent is doing something very strange with their sealed deck.
To be fair, there are a lot of non-basics.
Yeah, it's
Most
true.
Most of them come into play on.
They're already coming in tapped
already.
Anyway.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Archpriest of Iona. It's a human cleric. Archpriest of Iona's power is equal to the number of creatures in your party because it's a star/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn.
No.
Here's the thing.
Don't be playing 1-mana creatures.
Can you make a full party? It's not as easy as you think.
No, you need to be playing 4 colors.
Pretty much.
To make a full party. And then if you're playing 4 colors, you don't want a 1-drop.
Yeah, this is really hard to turn on. And if it is turned on, yeah, it's fine. But like, say one of those creatures in your party gets killed, then the bonus is immediately gone.
It's gone. And
it's
this
just
is easy to kill.
It's just
toughness.
a 2/2 or whatever, a 3/2.
Whatever.
Yeah, it looks like it talks a big game, but I don't think it puts up the results.
No.
Next up, Confounding Conundrum. 1 in a blue for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under the control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand.
So if your opponent is trying to ramp, this card will get them good.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the only scenario in which this card does a dang thing.
Hey, how about this? Nope, I don't want to play it. I was like gonna be like, what if I had like a blue-red Wizards deck? Would I play this card?
No.
Probably not.
Why?
Because it's an enchantment. It's not even an instant or
No.
sorcery.
It's a bummer is what it is.
It's a 2-mana cantrip, which I guess sometimes you play if you're like, I don't have anything else to do.
Maybe you bring it out of your sideboard if your opponent is casting tons of those ramp spells.
Like if they're a green ramp deck.
If they're a green ramp deck,
Maybe.
sure, bring it in out of the
It
sideboard.
replaces itself.
Yeah.
But like, what a sad, sad rare.
What a sad rare.
I wanted a bomb. What did I get?
A confounding conundrum.
Got a weird blue headache.
Yeah. Coveted prize. This is 4 and a black for a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. I want a bomb rare, not something that goes and gets a different card.
Yeah, so we talk about tutors a lot when we make these videos. Lots of newer players think they're really good because they're like, hey, I'm gonna go get my best card. It's awesome. But you have to think about the price you're paying for going to get your best card.
And you just want this to be the best card. Like, you want this rare.
What if this rare was
just be the rare
just
instead?
your best card?
And like, sure,
yeah.
if you're in black, play it. You're right. You can go get, maybe if you really need removal, you'll go get removal. Like we mentioned with the other card, you're basically never going to have a full party unlimited. It'll happen every once in a while, yes.
Yeah.
But not often enough to be like, oh, I'm going to be casting free spells left and right.
Yeah, this will probably cost 3 or something.
Yeah.
Usually. Which is, you know, I've never played a 3-mana tutor in my
I've
limited
played
deck.
tutors sometimes, right? If you have a lot of removal, it's nice sometimes to have an extra copy that says you can go and get it if you really need it. But again, like, only if you're already in the color, and that's not where you want to be with your rare splot. It's not where you want to be with your rare splot.
That card is a splot, that's for sure.
This next one is a card that I did play at the pre-release.
You did,
and
first-hand
I did enjoy
knowledge.
It. Causa Royal Chaser, blue-red for a 1/2 flying haste human wizard. Tap the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn, costs X less to cast, where X is the number of wizards you control as this ability resolves. Fun card. I love flying and haste on something.
Absolutely.
It is not Adeliz the Cinderwind.
No, I wish it was
Absolutely
Adeliz.
not. Adeliz had prowess. If this card had prowess, it would not be on this list.
The ability, I thought that, she had her power changed based on instants or sorceries in your graveyard.
Everyone did.
But that is not what this card does.
No. So like as is, if you're in blue-red, yeah, you'll play this. Like I said, I was happy that I played it. But one, I was never using that second ability. And two, I was disappointed every time there was not a prowess trigger.
I've got to say, I remember watching you like attack with it. I'm like, oh, that was just one? How is that just one?
It was just
causa.
one.
You tried. Ooh, this next one I cannot wait to roast because this is the one everyone's going to come after us about in the comments.
Oh, yes, they will.
Maddening Cacophony, 1 in a blue for a sorcery, kicker 3 in a blue. Each opponent mills 8 cards. If this spell was kicked, instead each opponent mills half of their library rounded up.
Whatever.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Let me tell you when a mill spell matters. Do you want to know when, Megan?
I know when. Tell us.
It's when you mill their last card in their library.
That's the only time.
Up until then, every mill spell does effectively nothing. Nothing. So there is a deck that you can make in sealed, and I played against it in the pre-release, which is black-blue rogues with a mill sub-theme.
Yeah, that's fun.
And it was a really, really cool deck and an excellent deck that I definitely want to try and draft. You probably will be able to mill people in draft.
Yep.
In
Sealed is not draft.
I don't think you're going to be able to get there.
No.
I mean, I played against Bengineering, and he had an excellent blue-black rogues deck, and he still was not able to mill me.
See?
So, like...
There you go.
I'm just telling you, it's probably not going to happen.
Yes. The only time that this card, that you're going to really like it, is if you are both grindy decks. And again, you bring it in out of your sideboard, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because then you're just trying to say, okay, we're both playing the really long game, and the way to win that is, in that case, to maybe be the person with the most cards in your library at the end.
Yes.
But like up until then,
doesn't matter.
Just not doing it. By all means,
random.
draft the deck.
Okay, if you're like, oh, I might mill their bomb. Yes, but you also might mill 6 of their lands that they didn't want anyway.
Exactly.
So don't be results oriented, okay?
No.
This card's a no-no.
Next up, Roiling Vortex.
Oh boy.
This card is so disappointing.
This is a stinker.
I love how sad this card is.
It really is maybe the saddest one on our list.
It really might be. 1 in a red, and there's always an enchantment, right? It's always when it's an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Roiling Vortex deals 1 damage to them.
Okay.
So it's both of you.
You're getting hit, your opponent's getting hit.
Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Roiling Vortex deals 5 damage to that player.
What is it even talking about?
Red, your opponents can't gain life this turn.
Okay.
All right.
This card is hot nonsense.
This card is the hottest nonsense.
When am I playing this card? I've somehow
Literally
opened up
don't know.
a mono red beatdown aggressive deck.
Okay, if you're hyper aggro and you want to play this because it's not going to matter to you that you're getting pinged.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's it.
Otherwise,
I don't want you to put it in your deck. I don't want you to think about it.
I don't even want you to look at this card.
Don't even look at it.
You are going to get to your rare spot, see it splash. The second time?
The rare spot.
Anyways, the rare spot, and you're gonna put this card face down on the table immediately, okay?
This is the worst. I think this is the worst card to open. Yep. Just awful.
Really, really terrible.
Our next card also belongs in a mono red deck, but hopefully not at your pre-release. Wayward Guide Beast.
Single red. For a 2/2, trample haste.
Ooh, I'm in.
Love that we're getting the flavor on Goblin Guide here.
Goblin Guide.
Whenever Wayward Guide Beast deals combat damage to a player, return a land you control to its owner's hand.
Oh.
Boy.
Okay, never mind.
I would say this is a bigger downside than Goblin Guide.
Absolutely, man.
1000%.
Not
this
good.
Is not a Goblin Guide.
No.
This is quite bad. What you do not want to be doing in Sealed is keeping yourself on one, like...
0 lands.
0 land. Like, don't do it.
If you play turn 1. Yeah.
Don't do it.
I don't think I would even... I'm like, say I'm running that red aggressive deck. Would I play this in it?
No.
I don't even think that I would. I certainly...
It's so bad.
The only time you want it is like turn... when you've got at least 4 lands
but
down.
Then what is a 2/2 even doing?
Nothing. It's not doing enough.
No. This card is such a...
Sorry, Wayward Guide Beast.
Bummer.
What a bummer town.
I love that there's a little goblin in the background that feels like a throw to Goblin Guide. I'm just like, there's a little goblin back there being like,
come
back here.
Cute.
Yeah.
So like we said, that is our list of the top 10 worst rares and mythics to open for your pre-release.
And obviously, like, it's just the lands are a gimme, so we never name them.
Yep.
And these lands are actually kind of cool.
They're great.
Actually, like,
I like them.
I don't know. I like them. They are still going to be, like, not what you want to open for, like, the most busted deck.
Yeah.
But we always just make them as, like, an addendum at the end.
Yeah. And all of this being said, like, there are tons and tons of sweet cards to open. We don't want you to think that we are like Zendikar thumbs down, because we're not.
Oh, we're
way up.
2 huge thumbs way up for Zendikar.
Like we said, we have already played in a pre-release.
Yes.
And it was awesome.
Oh, it was so great. It was a party.
It was a party.
It was a party.
It was a total party.
We had a full party.
Well, okay, how many times did you witness a full party?
Never.
I witnessed it one time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, one time. So it did happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like party is going to be a little harder to achieve than maybe you hope.
Absolutely.
And the games were excellent. Everyone that I played was really, really fun.
So good.
We saw super long games.
Oh yeah, they were pretty long, pretty grindy, very swingy.
Swinging games, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I also had some quick game. Like it seemed to run the gamut. So early predictions about the set is I think it's going to be fantastic for limited.
Yes, seems like it's going to be a real blast.
Yeah,
to
so
play.
get out there and play it. And just don't play any of these cards and maybe you'll come out a winner.